Welcome. You are now watching Boss Lady News, highlighting businesses, nonprofits, events, talent. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Miss Britt Johnson.
Hey, how are you all doing today? I'm excited. We've got another amazing show for you. We've got some amazing guests from the New England area, and they're fairly new to me, but a couple of them are not. CubanMic, of course, is going to come out and take on our news segment in just a moment. Before we get a chance to find out what's going on with celebrity news, we're also going to have on the set today Mr. AiltonCeasar. Yes, he's been here before. You guys got to meet him. He's doing some amazing things. His business is growing. And when I saw him all over Instagram, I'm like, well, wait a minute. How come I didn't find out about this? And he's like, you didn't see my post? I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't see everybody's posts. But I said, can you come on to the show and tell us more about it? So he is here, and he's brought a few of his partners with him. So we'll get to a chance to speak with them. Also, you guys, I know Roxbury knows Keegan. And if you don't, you should. Because this artist has been all over the Boston area. And the way I actually personally ran into him and saw his artwork was actually out on the Cape. It was during one of the events that they do annually out on the Cape. And I was just blown away by his artwork. I never got a chance to really sit down with him, but we're going to do that today. So, with no further ado, let's go ahead and find out what's going on in the news with CubanMic. Hey!
What's going on, girl?
What up? Grab a seat.
All right.
I know there's always a bunch going on.
It's always fun time when I'm over here, girl.
It is.
I give you the word.
So tell me what's going on.
All right, Nick Cannon. He's been on the news lately.
Right.
He's quitting America's Got Talent.
Yes.
So this is whole spiel coming up. He has a comedy special coming up, and he made a joke clowning NBC.
Okay.
So
I think they're prepared for that, though.
They were kind of sort of prepared for it, but not really. So it's been like a back and forth going on, because he said that before they fired him, he quit. But NBC is saying that they never fired him to begin with. Mm-hmm. So as recently, Nick Cannon's been very outspoken on what's going on with Black Lives Matter, police brutality, politics. He's been very woke,
right,
shall we say.
Right.
So he felt as though NBC is kind of like, how can you say this, afraid of his blackness. Mm-hmm. So they've been going back and forth with it.
Why did I hear it was some kind of situation about him wanting to say the N-word?
Something like that. It was something like that.
Him to.
All right, so he has a Showtime special coming up.
Okay.
And on the Showtime special, he says something to a reference that NBC stands for English be cussing.
Right.
Or something to that extent. So it's a whole bunch of reference to the N-word in NBC. So that was something, and I guess some sort of breach of contract that, you can't use the brand for your liking once you leave, whatever you do for the network. And he used it on his comedy special on a different channel.
Okay.
So that seems to be the conflict, but NBC is saying nothing happened.
So it's a contract interest.
And there's also rumor going out that he's probably making a big deal out of it so they could watch his comedy special. So he's making a big, controversy over nothing for people to watch to see what he said. So that's another rumor.
Any publicity is good publicity.
Exactly.
Many times.
So,
like I said, Eazy-E said it best. Any publicity is good publicity.
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, is he still with NBC and America's Got Talent?
Right now, no.
Okay.
Right now, no. And supposedly, what's this guy? Ryan Seacrest is supposed to be the guy.
Jeez.
Everybody's favorite host.
Ryan, I love you. I expect to be sitting next to you one day. So
we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
Yeah.
We're gonna get there. This is topic I want to touch on, and it's about the double standards going on. I don't know if you're familiar with director Robin Pawlowski.
No.
He's a director, and he escaped because he was accused of raping a 13-year-old, and he's a director. And he's coming back now. I guess the states are bringing him back. So now people are complaining. That's like, how are you going to let that get away? But then Nick Parker came out with a very good movie, The Birth of a Nation. They kind of shut him down because of what he got accused. He got accused. It wasn't even proven. It was just like an accusation.
And it was incorrect.
And they shut him down.
Right.
And in this case, it was proven that he did this, and they let him escape to France, and now they're trying to get him back. Not only that, the woman that got accused of doing that forgave him, and not only that, when he was on the run, he was awarded with, he directed the movie The Pianist. I don't know if you're familiar with that movie. He was directed that, and he won Best Director Film in 2002 while on the run.
I don't know why America is not aware of these double standards. I mean, it's almost gotten to the point where, I don't want to say you brush it off, but it happens, let's recognize it, but they're not changing.
They're not changing
They're not changing. We need to change, and we need to stop encouraging some of these award ceremonies and different things that are going on.
Exactly.
Because the purchasing power, the viewership, and all of that of people of color as a whole is so much more than the people that are currently in power. What you got next?
Well, that leads to the Grammys. Yes.
Perfect.
As everybody knows, the Grammys was on Sunday. I flicked through it. I caught the main performance. My favorite show was the Tribe Called Quest performance.
That's right.
You know, Busta Rhymes referred to Trump to what is it, Agent Orange. You know, shutting it down. You know, you had the whole wall shutting down, the Muslims coming out. I mean, it was an incredible performance. Biggest surprise, Chance the Rapper. He won 3 Grammys. Best New Artist, Best Rap Album, and he was the first hip hop artist that was able to win an album with streams.
Right.
No physical copies, just streams. And just off of that, one after he won the Grammys, the increase of his sales went 400%. So
listen,
yes.
I don't know who in the Grammy group decided we are going to award a bunch of black people.
Yes.
But it was one of the smartest moves you guys might have made,
so
because
he earned that.
The Emmys, those are Emmys, Oscars, people don't really want to deal with those anymore. I think the Grammy Awards is going to get so much more exposure, so much more recognition every year.
And another thing about Chance the Rapper, he was offered a $5 million contract before this. And now when he won, it got doubled. So now they offered him $10 million for a contract, and he's still saying no. He said, I want to own my own publishing, my own master, so I'm keeping it all by myself. So that's a beautiful thing about ownership, especially with black people. So
for sure.
I'm keeping it all.
For sure.
So that's
We're going to go, thank you. Yes. I love the topics. Yes. Every time, you guys, you will always be able to find CubanMic out here. Also, make sure you find him on his social media. Let's give that, and then we're going to cut to a brief PSA.
All right.
Your plug for your social media.
Oh, I'm sorry. CubanMic. CubanMic. You can catch me on Instagram, Twitter, all that other stuff. I'm just silly and doing a whole bunch of ridiculous stuff online. So you can catch me at CubanMic Instagram.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for staying tuned. We're going to cut to a brief PSA. And when we come back, we're going to get a chance to speak to the man, the entrepreneur, and the New England resident, Mr. AiltonCeasar. Don't go anywhere. Thank you for staying tuned to Boss Lady News. Now we're going to jump right into it with AiltonCeasar. Hey!
How are you?
Isn't he just amazing looking? He's just so handsome. Okay, we know about you. You've been on a few times, but I want to jump right into this business, and then we'll go back and we'll talk about the model.
Yes.
Because we all know that you're modeling, and congratulations, like the W Hotel just like featured you on their website.
It's really weird. I didn't even know until someone texted me and said, hey, you're on the W. And I was like, what, where? And I like checked it out.
Yeah.
But thanks for having me again.
Yeah, and I want to just
fun.
give a quick shout out to the W Hotel. You know, they're definitely opening up to a variety of events. And I want to say that the event coordinators throughout the New England area are jumping on it, and they're doing a really good job. So tell me about the business.
Business has been great. First, I'll give a little, backtrack to it. So, it's 2017, and I'm a big believer in just, entrepreneurship and people just, taking control of their, situations. So me and a couple amazing people got together and we said, why don't we create a movement, an organization all around freedom, time freedom, financial freedom, hence the idea, next level freedom.
Right.
So that's the group, and it's all about giving people the tools, the skills, the education to just get out of their situation and just take that like financial literacy and power and just own it.
Right.
So, yeah.
What made you decide, number one, and I know I asked you this before, and I feel like every time I ask people, the answer kind of changes.
Right.
What made you decide to become an entrepreneur?
For me, it was mainly just like having the ability to like, make my own schedule, just control. I'll be honest, nobody likes to be bossed around, If I just want to wake up when I want to wake up, awesome. I was just tired of just doing the same thing over and over and not really being able to travel as much as I wanted to and just have that flexibility.
Right.
So when I kind of like opened up my eyes to entrepreneurship. I said, let's go. This has to be it, you know?
Right.
I was tired of doing the same thing over and over, really.
There are many entrepreneurial businesses out there that people would consider tier schemes.
Right.
Multi-level media.
Big pyramid thing.
Yeah. So how have you not been caught up into any of those and been able to kind of start something that works for you?
Good question. First, it was just educating myself. You know, a lot of people get so scared and they're like, wait, is it that one of them pyramid things? And I'm like, first, I try to educate people, you know. If you look it up and find the actual definition, a pyramid scheme, it's something illegal, first of all, and I have no time to do anything illegal. My mother is from Cape Verde, so she doesn't have time for that, you know. So, you know, I tell people it's an illegal system where you're giving money. So it's like, hey, Britt, give me some money and I'll give you money back, but there's no product or service or exchange. With what I've been doing, there's a legit product or service. You know, it's education, financial literacy, teaching people. You know, it's like, if you're giving me money, I should be giving you something back, right? So,
and it's education that, as a parent, I feel like we really should be teaching our children, our young people at a younger age, some of these learnings, some of these teachings, entrepreneurialism, scheduling. I mean, it's crazy even just being able to keep your own schedule.
It's hard, but you know, I agree completely, and I don't even have kids, so it's like, listen, because I look at it like this: if I don't start something or if I don't take advantage of it now, who's gonna do it? You know, my parents came to this country with nothing, and they still made it work. You know, got a car, got a house. They work really hard, but at the end of the day, it's always about leveling up. You know, so for me, I look at it like, okay, cool. Mom has the house, she has a nice car, but she's always working. I don't want to do that. You know, granted, she works really hard, but you know, I want to travel a little bit more. I want to have a little bit, you know, the nicer things, I guess. You know, so especially with my background, because going through college, I worked all the time. And I realized, like, I'm always working, but there's no money, you know? Where does it all go? So, like, for me, it was just, all right, instead of making more money, let me educate myself on how to keep more of my money. You know?
Absolutely. That's so important. Now, specifically, for your business, you've got a couple partners that are actually here with you. When partners and people wanting to be involved started to happen, first, how excited were you? And then second, how do you, for lack of better words, manage everything that encompasses your company?
Right. First and foremost, I'd say the more the merrier, because you know, it's power in numbers. You know, it's all about a community at the end of the day. So whenever I look at different people, I don't even try to think of it as managing, because we all have our own skill sets. We're all adults in a sense, you know? So it's all about having trust and confidence in people to do their own thing. And I look at it like we're a family, we're a team. So I try to play my position. You know, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick says it best, like, do your job, you know? So I do my job, I let them do their job, and, you know, run with it.
I am not a big Patriots
Me neither,
person,
but,
although, you know, congratulations to the Pats.
Got to give props where props is due.
Definitely. What I pulled out of the patriotism and their team building is that they do trust.
They do.
Which is something that's definitely lacking in many of our communities. They do continue. There's no stopping. There's no satisfaction just because this happened.
They're hungry.
Yes, that hunger continues until you've got a meal, and then you're already planning forward for the next meal. So that, I feel like, is super, super, super important. Now, how do you work your events with your team and with everyone else? We're going to cut to a brief PSA, and when we come back, I want to hear how you do it, and then we want to go ahead and talk with the people in the audience, your partners. Okay? All right, we'll be right back. Hello, everyone. Boss Lady News, Britt Johnson. You guys know you can watch every Friday at 6 p.m. on Comcast Channel 23, or make sure you're checking out my Facebook Live. We've got recordings of the episodes, or my YouTube. Anyways, Alton.
Yes.
The events.
Yes.
Tell me about them.
So first and foremost, every event we try to go into it with an idea of how much value can we give, the public, the community, whether they decide to join the program or not, because as long as somebody can come out and learn something or maybe spark the fire, to do something with their finances, or, maybe look into investing, look into trading, look into just more education, we're happy,
Right, right.
And that's why we push ourselves every week, Sunday and Wednesday, like clockwork, we do events, 7 o'clock, Sunday and Wednesday.
They can find out about these events on your social media.
On my social media, if you go to hashtag Next Level Freedom on Facebook, it should definitely pop up. We have a Facebook page, my Facebook page, AiltonCeasar, but the Next Level Freedom page has everything, dates, times. We have an event coming in June 17th. This is like an exclusive because I don't think we've even put it out there.
I like getting exclusives.
You guys are the first to hear. June 17th in Boston. We'll put all the formal info on our page. But yeah, like we want people to like learn about financial literacy. Come out, get the info, and do something.
Absolutely. We've got a couple of your partners here. Why don't you go ahead, stand up for a moment and introduce yourself?
Good?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Hi, my name is Tamika Bisfam, and I am one of Alton's partners. I'm the co-founder of Next Level Freedom. Yes. And I will tell you guys this really quickly. One of the quotes that I love is, believe in yourself and all of who you are, because greatness is within you and you can overcome any obstacle. I'm a single mom of 2 beautiful children, fell on hard times, and I ended up in a shelter. It was crazy, but I worked my way out with belief in myself. So once I got out, I was able to find amazing people, business owners, investors, all kinds of people, and also my business partner, Alton. And what I got from it was that you just have to surround yourself with like-minded people and people that want the same goals and striving for the same things that you want. We want freedom, financial freedom. We want freedom to do whatever it is that we want. And I also want that for my children.
Absolutely.
So I make sure that Next Level Freedom is all about empowering ourselves and empowering the people around us. So my family and my community means so much to me, and it does the same with everyone else.
Wow. Thank you.
Hi, guys. All right, so y'all can hear me, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm Tony St. Louis. I've been in Boston. I haven't been in Boston my whole entire life, but I've been here since I was about 10 years old. I'm actually a former Marine myself. So
Thank you for
coming
your
out of the
services.
military, I know a lot about brotherhood and helping a lot of people. So that's exactly what I wanted when I came out of the service. Also, I went to college. So I'm a college student also doing business part-time. And doing that has opened my eyes to like the community itself, because I always love giving back to people. I've been helped my whole entire life, and I think what other way can I do that by empowering others with education about opening up their own business. So doing that with Next Level Freedom and my co-business partners, you know, what we're doing is striving for greatness, and we're helping others get there as well.
Wow.
So,
Thank you.
thanks.
I think it's amazing that young people are trailblazing for younger people and for older people.
Very true.
And one of the comments you made was really trusting. You know, there's always a stigma that older people don't want to trust the younger people and what they know because they don't have experience. But we're in a new world. We're in a new time in this galaxy. And we've got to trust that there's something inside of us, our ancestors or whatever you might want to believe, that is now powering our spirits and our abilities to be able to do more. And we've got to trust in one another.
I agree.
How can people get in touch with you one more time?
So if you guys just search Next Level Freedom online, that's the Facebook page. You know, I'm super friendly. Tamika, Tony, as you guys saw, super friendly people. We're just all about teaching people, hey, let's show you how to manage your money, invest it, put it in the markets, learn a skill set that, you know, no one can take away from you. Knowledge is like power. Knowledge is the new money in a sense, you know?
Absolutely.
So definitely reach out. And I'm a social media fanatic. So, you know, Britt, I'm always on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. So send me a message, DM, anything.
Right, right. And I've got to encourage everyone to make sure that they do go to these events. I will be there. We're going to go ahead and cut to another PSA. When we come back, we're going to actually run over and speak with Connie DeForo in reference to some fashion finance. And then we'll come back and we'll get to talk with Keegan and get a chance to see some of his artwork. I hope you guys enjoy that clip, and we'll be right back. Thank you for staying tuned to Boss Lady News. You guys know if there's someone I need to meet and haven't had a chance to, please feel free to email me, bossladynews@gmail.com. Also, there are open opportunities for sponsorships and getting onto the website for some additional promotions and advertising. Just email me, bossladynews@gmail.com. My team will get in touch with you, and we'll let you know what we can do with you. Right now, I'm excited because I love the arts. I don't feel like we always get enough opportunity to find out about some of our artists here. And we're going to go ahead and speak with Keegan right now. Why don't you come on out here? How are you?
Good.
Okay. Keegan. I keep saying Keegan.
That's all right.
CeganLuse.
That's correct.
Thank you for finally getting a chance to sit down and talk with me.
Thanks for having me.
I'm super excited because I've ran into you in a variety of different events, and it's always been like a crossing.
Right.
But then I see you on social media, and I'm like, oh, we just ran into each other. This is what you do.
That's what I do.
The first time I got a real opportunity to see some of your artwork, it was Puffer on the Cape.
Oh, at the Martha's Vineyard.
Martha's Vineyard.
At the African American Heritage Festival.
Yes. Every year, you guys have to make sure you get out there to the vineyard because it's quite an experience. There's so much Black history on the vineyard that we don't even really know about. But once a year, they have a Black history, I want to say recognition. There's fashion, there's fragrance, there's artists.
Yes.
And it's for an entire week. At least.
Yes.
And I know that there's a little bit more that happens afterwards.
The art show is on the weekend of that week, but the entire week they have programming and talks and lectures and stuff about Black history.
Right.
On the Cape and Islands.
So tell us about yourself. Are you originally from the Boston area?
I'm originally from Portland, Maine.
Okay.
That's where I was born, but I came
New England.
Yeah, New England. And I went to high school in Cambridge, Range in Latin. Mm-hmm. And I've been in Roxbury for about 20 years now.
Nice. What made you really get into your artwork? Was it something that you had always done when you were younger and then grew up into it also?
Well, I've always done art my entire life. I was always drawing and sketching and taking classes here and there, but I went to college for it, and really got into it, and just blossomed from there. And as a visual artist, I just want to explore all sorts of different mediums and different things just to get the message out there.
No boundaries.
No boundaries.
No bars. And I really like that about what your artwork kind of represents because you do have a variety. And even here today, you've got everything from smaller art pieces that have so much question but information at the same time. I think some of these art pieces are beautiful.
Thank you.
Specifically, if you grabbed that one with the young lady here, I wonder what she's looking at, but this so reminds me of myself. Quick story, I was in South Carolina, and I was actually going to a funeral, and being from New England, and so warm out there, I'm like this airy, tree, foresty, hippie type person. So I'm like, I'm gonna run across the street to the gas station and grab something while I'm barefoot. So I go into the gas station barefoot, and everyone's looking at me like, and then I speak. And
like,
three people in line decide to roll their heads and look, and they thought I was from Europe. They thought I was British. Oh, they don't get to hear the British accent until they listen to the music stuff. But I was like, thrown because people have this expectation of others. And same thing, when they reach an artist, they feel like an artist is trapped inside of a box. So I love this piece and I love this artwork. But you also have comics.
Yes, that's
so tell me about those too.
My latest project is lunchtime comics. It kind of started out as an exercise to just get myself drawing every day, and when I had some time off at work, lunchtime, which is where lunchtime comics come from. But it kind of developed into this beast that I keep doing it and doing it because I love doing it. And it ends up to be about my family, I've got 2 children, I'm married, and so just so many things that come out of that, funny situations that I use for these comics. And I've done about 107 of them now.
Wow.
Yeah, I started as an exercise to just see if I could do one every day for a week. And after I did that week, and I put them out on Facebook and social media, people loved them, and they said, keep doing them. So I said, okay, I'll keep doing them. And they just kept coming and coming.
Are we getting these into the hands of our young people?
As much as possible.
Okay. So any schools out there, please,
Yes.
I'm expecting you to contact me. I know I'm in touch with at least 3 different schools, and I know they'd probably love to have you stop by and introduce these comics
I'd
to
love
some
to.
of the young people.
I'd love to share them with whoever.
So what is the character basis? I know it's you, but what is the character of the comic person?
Well, it's kind of an expanded version of myself. You know, oftentimes the person I wish I could be, the things I wish I could say. You know, I'm a little more reserved probably than my comic book characters, but it's about, you know, everything, everyday life, being parents, at work, just around the neighborhood, and anything.
Right.
So I'll probably do one about this show.
Oh, I love it.
So expect to see yourself.
I love it. Now, when you first, again, kind of got into, let's even say, the comics, did you see yourself wanting to do that, or was there something that triggered the comic book factor?
Well, I've always been a huge fan of comic books and read them since I was a kid, you know, the X-Men and Avengers and all those, and just always loved it. And as a kid, I made comics on my own and kind of played around with it. And this is the first time that I've really kind of gotten serious and focused on producing them constantly.
Wow.
Before it was just kind of whenever I felt like it.
I love it. And honestly, there's so much money available in the comic world. In Comic-Cons, I'm actually going to a convention with Inspector Tech, yes. In, oh goodness, when are we going? We're going in April.
It's a Boston Comic-Con.
No, it's the Star Wars one.
Ooh.
And I'm not a big Star Wars, I'm a Trekkie, I'm a Star
love
Trek
Star Wars.
person. But Star Wars, I did not realize how much marketing, promoting, and legacy
It's crazy, since the
that
70s.
is, yes. And then seeing how they've done it. They've targeted both the young and the older at the same time, which keeps this constant rotation of, oh, when I was young, I was doing this. That's my telephone, sorry guys. When I was young, I was doing this, and I loved the comics. And now that I'm older, I'm taking my children, and we're doing this together.
Multi-generational.
Yeah, so I really love that that's a factor. But I wanted to ask also, in reference to your regular artwork, do you find yourself getting other people involved in wanting to be artists as well?
I try to encourage young people whenever possible to do art and to explore the, you know, the profession of being an artist. I mean, I do graphic design as my day-to-day job.
Okay.
And, you know, the illustrative work and stuff I do is more for love, and I also go out to events like the one you went to and sell my work directly to the people. I kind of decided, and I would encourage other people to be more an entrepreneur and not go the gallery route, which is
Right,
nice,
right.
but you can go out there and just sell it directly to people and talk to people.
Right.
And I do such different sizes, like you mentioned before, because I want to keep my price points low so that people can have them. I don't want to
Right.
make art that's up on a wall that people can't touch. I want
sure.
people to have the art, to share it with each other, and you know, enjoy it.
Now, you've got your photos, you've got your comics, and you've also got some awesome T-shirts here that you've designed and created as well. So you've made your graphics into fashion.
Right.
What drove that?
I just like T-shirts. I collect them. I like clever T-shirts and artsy T-shirts, and I said, I'm going to teach myself how to do this. So I bought a little kit and just ruined a lot of T-shirts.
Right?
And eventually came up with some of these. And I've got, it also just encompasses different parts of myself. I have a shirt for Roxbury. I love to bike. I've got shirts about biking. I've got, I love beauty, so I make, beautiful shirts.
And this shirt, I really, really, really like it. While we were putting it up, my amazing director was like, is that Erykah Badu? And what I really like is, when I was younger, right, I used to go into the clothing stores and I would get shirts that, I didn't want to get the shirts that didn't look like me. So in my closet, I actually have a few T-shirts that have like the black girl afro, or she has like braids in. And now that I'm older, I don't get a chance to wear them, but they mean so much to me because they do represent me.
I think representation is super important. And a lot of my artwork deals with that. I want to, especially with the illustrations, these are based on historic photographs from the Library of Congress.
Wow.
So this is American history that I think is kind of swept under the rug, but there's literally thousands of these images of American history, African American history that are out there, and people need to see them. And we need to understand that we've been represented. It's just you don't get to see it as much as you should.
Absolutely. And this is obviously like the perfect time. I think people are finally getting comfortable with believing that African American history is American history. So I try to hashtag American history as much as possible to any of the African American history posts or comments that I might put. But what's so important about the artists and the photographers and the videographers is they capture those moments so that they exist forever.
Right, and I think Ava DuVernay said something about how we're going to resist now in this new administration is art. Art is going to be our tool to resist, and I wholly believe in that.
Yeah. So how can people find your artwork, and how can they get in touch with you?
Well, I'm on all the social medias. The comics I put out weekly on Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr and Instagram under @LunchtimeComics with an X at the end. And also CeganLuse. You can find my name and all sorts of my artwork under my own social media accounts as well.
Wow. I, for one, want to always thank any of the artists, because I know sometimes it can be difficult within our communities to be able to encourage those artistic side of people. And with so much happening sometimes in the communities, it can become drawing, literally, where it's either positive or it's negative. So how do you take your everyday life and allow yourself to get into that zone of being the artist that you are?
It's more of how do I not do it? It's art is such a calling and a love. It's something that I need to do. And I found that in Roxbury especially, it's a very supportive artistic community. It may be small, but we support one another. It's not competitive.
Right.
We're always looking out for each other and sending each other shows and opportunities and stuff. So it's been great in that way.
Awesome. I love it. And I can't wait to see a comic that has Boss Lady in it. That will certainly be on my shelf.
Right.
So I want to make sure I see that. We've only got one more minute, but I wanted to, let the audience know, for you as an artist here in the world today, not using our current president as any particular influence, but where do you see art and culture going for the next few years?
Well, I think it's exploding. With the advent of the internet and social media, there's just so many ways for artists and photographers and videographers to get their work out there. So it's not this closed system anymore. Just like you was talking about, Chance the Rapper was able to get this great success in not getting signed and going through the traditional route. I think that is such a beautiful thing about the internet and social media that we can create what we want without the influence of the powers that be.
Absolutely.
I think we'll just keep doing that.
For sure. Very important. You guys make sure that you find out about the people in your area. You've got amazing people in your area, and you've got to trust that they are good at what they do. And it's not hard to find them and to find the events that they're going to be at, because you guys post about them.
Oh, all over the place.
Do you have an event coming up anytime soon?
Nothing real heavy on the books. I'm kind of the festival season comes in kind of May, so the next thing I'm going to be at is the Urban Farming Conference, selling some shirts and stuff like that, and then probably do some ink block shows during the summer.
So we'll be looking out for the urban farming, okay?
Please do.
And for your artwork.
Thank you very much.
We are going to go ahead and cut to another PSA, and when we come back, I want you guys to be prepared of what in fashion is artistic and what people are wearing. So we're going to run over and hang out with Amber Lou for a while, and then when we come back, we'll get a chance to run into Rebecca Zama and see if we can catch up with her and hear her amazing voice. We'll be right back. Thank you for staying tuned to Boss Lady News. I hope you guys enjoy the show. Please feel free to contact me on my social media. I want to invite everyone, all of my guests, to come back onto the set as we close out now. You guys know you can get in touch with me on my social media, #BossLadyNews. Please make sure you get in touch with any of my guests, because they are the important people. They are the people that I want you all to know more about. So with no further ado, you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. Feel free to let me know about any events, and make sure you're checking out their events. We'll see you next time. Also going to get a chance to take a look at a few of the pieces that the designers will have, and each one of you, I'd like to know the piece we're going to see today. What inspired this particular outfit? I'm going to start over here.
So you will see one of my activewear leggings, yoga leggings, and this piece, the pattern for this piece was taken from a painting called Move On Regardless. And when I painted that, I didn't know what I painted, so when the painting was completed, I stepped back and I thought, what is that? Let's meet it with the art piece. And when I saw the face, kind of the Gary type, when you see that movement, and I thought, okay, it's Move On Regardless. And then I thought, okay, if it's the name, that would be a great piece to start something for activewear or something. And I have like 20 pattern designs based on just this one piece. And this particular pattern design is called Malted Trees. So it's very cheerful, very kind of greenish, neutral, burgundy color. And again, I like to have that when I do exercises, because it gives you that extra vibe, that sort of encouragement on subconscious level. So that's, and again, I have so many pattern designs, I just did few of them. I wish I'll find the right place, collaboration sort of with the larger companies with more production facilities that I have at my studio, so to speak.
Nice. The piece we're going to see from you today?
I wanted to show you one of my dresses, and what inspired me is the ocean. That's why I titled it the Ocean Collection for this spring, summer 2017. I'm going to be showing it with VOGE Fashion Runway. It inspired me because the child in me, I know you talked about that early on, the child in me has a lot of ocean. I was born on the island of Don't Gilbert Islands, and I remember coming home from school, dropping off my pocketbook and going straight to the ocean and swimming until they yell at me to come back home. So I feel like as an adult we still have such a strong, deep connection with the ocean, even if we have to go to Florida during the winter time to swim. So it's something that we all are so into it. Wow, there's so much more to learn. And that's what inspired me. Everything about the ocean.
Okay.
I am showing spring 2017. I'm calling it Apricot Dawn because it's a lot of colors from, if you can imagine dawn with the colors in the sky. Apricots, mole, pinks, peaches, and then some, they're not iridescent fabric, but they've got like a silver sheen to them. So kind of twinkling as if it's the morning light. So I've used a lot of very light and sensuous fabrics that kind of remind me of starting
Okay.
So I am creating a fall-winter 2017 collection, and it is mostly inspired by the juxtaposition of some people usually go with like a hard and soft, but I'm going for a matte and shiny. So you're gonna see a lot of things mixed in there, but it's most definitely very high-end, very high fashion. So I'm excited to show you.
Nice. Okay.
So my collection, I've been recently getting a lot of suggestions for men's clothing. And so something in my mind said, you know, what would my king wear? Like, as, you know, when I'm, you know, a billionaire and in my mansion in the future, what would my king wear? Like, sitting next to me, just reading a book. Like,
okay.
Of the long collection, which in a few languages means king. So a lot of it's inspired by that mindset. And somehow it ended up taking a kind of a Japanese feel, which will definitely be apparent in the piece that will be shown today. But
Yay, thank you. Okay.
So my collection is a fall-winter collection inspired by the spring, and so it's inspired by the spring because I'm using like light colors, but I'm still making jackets. I'm making a couple dresses, but it's mostly like winter wear, but in spring colors.
Okay.
And I titled it In Bloom.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's also inspired by Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. I wasn't sure if I could say it because we're gonna like put it on TV or whatever, but that was one of the inspirations behind that collection. So I have a little bit of like a flowers and like butterfly motif going through the collection and a lot of volume. So the piece I'm showing today, well the two pieces I'm showing today are like the chillest pieces in the collection. So expect a lot more for going further along. I just didn't want to like give up too much.
I love it. All right, so we're gonna get a chance now to actually see some of these pieces.